Today we will continue with some more problem from maxima and minima, and we'll try to. I think we have finished the maxima and minima, right?
Yes, sir. We have finished.
Okay, so from the PDF which I shared, let's solve some question. I have shared one PDF, and also I have shared a Zoom link. Sorry, uh, vector practice question. So just keep on revising the vector also, because generally we tend to forget about it. Okay, just to recap, let's solve this question. The height. Okay, you can directly see the question. You have the question number 9 in the PDF.
Sir, poster one.
Question, no, question number 10. 10.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, solve this question. Meanwhile, I'll just put it here for the record. Okay, so got the answer?
Sir, doing.
Okay. So I think, got the answer?
Yes, sir. First question done.
Okay. So we have now quite a good number of questions. So we'll solve one by one. So I think velocity is what? Rate of change of displacement, right? So if you differentiate the first, you get the velocity, right? So if you differentiate, what will get? Tell me.
And minus 32 t plus 96.
Excellent. And they're asking at t equals to 0, right? The A part. So V will be how much? 96 because
Yes, sir.
minus 32 into 0. So this is the first answer. V is the maximum height. So maximum height is simple. The maximum height will be when the first derivative is 0. We want to maximize S. So at maximum height, what happens? The body will stop also. Common sense. If you throw something vertically up, what happens at maximum height? Do you see it? It will come to rest, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Rugved, do you understand this?
Yes.
So at maximum height, either you can think velocity is 0 in physics terms, or in terms of mathematics, the first derivative of the displacement is 0 because the maximum or the minimum of any function will have when the first derivative is 0. So ds by dt is 0. This is from maths, and which is similar to physics. At a maximum height, velocity is 0, or the ds by dt is 0. All are same. And if you equate to 0, I think you get t equals to 3 seconds, right?
Yes, sir. 3 seconds.
And the C part, so this is the B part. C part is what? It's velocity when displacement is 0. Oh, so you need to first solve the quadratic to get when it is 0. S0 implies minus 16t square plus 96t plus 1 and 2 equals to 0. I think this is common. We can take 16 as a common, right? Oh. T square 60. And how many times? 1 on 2? 7. Ah, and now you can solve this quadratic, right? This is simple. How much is, what are the answers coming here?
7 and -1.
So -1 is not possible. It means t will be 7 seconds, right? You got the answer. So s is 0 when t is 7. And they're asking what is the velocity when t is 7. What we can do? I'll use this space. So the v at 7 is how much? What is the answer, guys? Tell me. Okay, 3. How much is that?
128, I think, negative.
Yeah, it's coming down actually. That means in physics that meaning is coming down. So every mathematical expression will have some physical meaning. -128 is coming is the right answer. I think you said this much only. So we got all the 3 answers. If you have doubt in this, do let me know. I'll explain again.
So the second question, maximum height,
Mhm.
the second part.
Mhm.
So what is the answer? 0 only.
Its velocity at t equals to 0, its maximum. No. At t equals to 3 seconds, the height is maximum, but height is where? This is the formula for height. Na? So the S max will be, we have to put 3 there. -16 into 9 plus 96 into 3 plus 1 and 2. How much is that? We need to calculate. Let me do it. Tell me the answer. Meanwhile, you can also take -16 into 3 square, which is 9, right? Plus 96. Yes, tell me.
So can we use the velocity from the first part? Like we had calculated.
Yeah.
96.
Yeah. But they're asking the maximum height and the C part is different. So answer is coming is the S max is 256 meter. For which part you're saying? Tell me.
So the second part, like we found a v from the first part, velocity when t is 0.
Yeah.
So, but we don't know whether it is moving at the same speed.
Right.
Oh.
So actually, the real situation is different. It's like you might have thrown from here and just gone to this. So when you're here back to this point, because at t0 you're at 112 away, and s0 means what? S0 means you're here actually. Okay, so it is like this. So S we measure from the from origin here, and you are at 112 meter ahead already when you threw the ball. And while coming to S0, you are here actually, so you will have a lot more velocity than before. So that's why the velocity is more than this, right? 96, this is 128, and minus is representing the direction. So when we solve the kinematics, the same question we will have to solve, but you will understand the meaning of it. Right now we are doing mechanically, mathematically. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, guys, if you have any doubt, anyone. There are many who are very quiet. It means you're not getting it. Prashant, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir, I got it.
In physics, there are 2 things. Either you understand completely or you don't understand at all. So physics is called, it is either it is impossible or it is trivial. There is nothing in between that, I have understood a bit of it. There is nothing like this in physics. Yeah, it is not like the history or civics in which you say, yeah, I understand the election, but I don't understand the democracy. I mean, come on. Okay. So this is the next very interesting and challenging problem. So maybe I will solve question number 3 on the next page. The question number 2, which is actually 25 question. Find the points on the curve that are nearest to the origin. Imagine this is representing some curve, and right now I will not tell you which curve is this, but you can understand maybe this is a circle. Okay. And the nearest point from the origin is what? A line which will pass through the diameter, isn't it?
Yes.
Because nearest point is always perpendicular to the tangent to circle. And therefore, this line, the nearest point line, will eventually cross the center. And this equation is the equation of a circle. How? Because x square is having 5 and y square is having 5. So when x square and y square having same coefficient, we know it is circle. But we haven't studied this way. So you haven't taught us. Yeah, correct. I have it. So what I will do is I'll make it okay. I'll take one. I'll do a small thing. X square plus y square minus 6 by 5x 4 by 5. So I'll do a small manipulation. X square oh no. We have xy. Just a minute. No, this is not a circle. In circle, we can't have xy. We just check the question. Okay. No. Okay, this is not a circle. Okay, we cannot solve like this. If it is not a circle, then it's a difficult question. We have to solve from basic one. Anyway, the question is, there is some random curve. I don't know which kind of curve it is. Let's assume this is the curve. This is the origin, and I don't know which point, but let's say a general point xy is the nearest point. Right now, I don't know whether it is nearest or not, but I know this is the point on the curve. So what will be the separation? How to find the separation? You can add z equals to x square plus y square, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we want to minimize it. So for a z minimum, because nearest point will be minimum separation, right? So for a z minimum, can we say the first derivative must be 0? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I mean, of course, wherever it is, but the first derivative must be 0 if it is nearest point. But the problem is, we don't have given all those things. So what we can do? We can do something. So we have the equation given here, which is the constraint relation. If you remember the last lecture, I always talk about the constraint, like something which cannot change. This equation is the fixed relationship given to us, and we must make use of this relation. So, so do we have space sufficient here? Anyway, so that is what you will do. So what you do next is, then you differentiate this implicit function. Now this is the implicit function, if you remember, and we know for any implicit function dy by dx is what? Minus del y by, minus del z by del x. I think this part you don't remember. So how to make z first? First of all, we have to rewrite this as z equals to, bring everything on the one side. So first of all, make the all term on the left and call it z. And then to find dy by dx, differentiate this way. Partial derivative of z with respect to x and partial derivative of z with respect to y, and take the ratio with minus sign. Forget about what is z represented here. That is confusing. So I'll just change the symbol, not to confusion. So let's call this symbol as S. This is nice. Anyway, so let's do the first task, dy by dx. If I differentiate with respect to x, what will happen? I'll get 10x. I'll get minus 6y. That's it. And if I differentiate with y, what I'll get? Tell me, guys. Minus 6x plus 10y. All right. So what I'm getting is 6y minus 10x upon 10y minus 6x. So when this will be 0? Tell me. When this will be 0? When the numerator is 0, right?
Yes, sir.
So dy by dx is 0 implies 6y equals to 10x, which is coming as 5 by 3x. So this line is the line, this line will cut the axis. Sorry, cut the curve, and the point of intersection of this line with the curve will give you the nearest point. Fair enough. Okay, this is good. So what we can do next?
So
Yes.
how do we know whether the equation was of constraint?
Pardon? Pardon?
How do we know that the equation was constrained or not?
See, x and y are variable, but if you look at the x and y, the all x and y is equal to some number 4, which means it is a constant. So x will change, y will change, but the entire LHS is constant, isn't it?
Yes.
It is equal to 4 only, no? So it is called expression in x and y. Okay. This is the expression in x and y. And so this expression will have some shape, and you're trying to find the nearest point from there. Understood?
So when we know that, we apply the partial.
Yeah, just wait a minute. I think we are not done yet. I mean, this is a big question. What I can do is, there is no facility of cut copy paste here. So just a moment. I need to show you something more actually. This is not easy question for anyone. 25. And let me number it properly. Okay. Just a moment. So this is the big question. So what I'll do is I'll go to a fresh page because I need to explain in detail, and this may take more time. Once again, it's a 25. So the equation is once again, we have given 5x square minus 6xy plus 5. This is given to us, no? This is given to us. And the distance from the origin is how much? So distance of any random point, if there is some random curve, and this is a random point, so what is the minimum distance? So okay, what is the distance formula from origin to the point? Let's say the point is representing xy. What we can say? The distance of a point from origin is x square plus y square under root. Correct?
Yes.
I can write. I can write like this. Okay, what we want to minimize? Tell me. We want to minimize what? Which quantity we want to minimize?
So S.
Excellent. So to minimize s, the first derivative of s will be 0. And if the first derivative of s is 0, the first derivative of s square is also 0, isn't it? It's the same thing. Doesn't matter. Either you minimize this or you minimize this, it's the same thing, isn't it? So
Yes, sir.
because we know s square is given as this plus this, if you differentiate with x, you get 2x plus 2y, chain rule, dy by dx. Understood? And we want to minimize this, so we have to put this as 0. And if you do so, what will get? 2x plus 2y. 2 can cancel out. You can take 2 common. So x equals to, or you can do one thing now. Dy by dx is something that we have already calculated. Where? Here. And this is what we need to you put there. 6y minus 10x upon what was the value? 10y minus 6x. So we have x plus, okay, we can take LCM. 2y. And now you have to multiply and check, because this is 0, numerator is 0, 10xy. So x square equals to y square, so we can say x equals to plus minus y. These are two possibilities, either x equals to y or x equals to minus y. And we have to solve the question. So now we have to go back to the constraint. So we have one equation here, which is the relationship between x and y. So using one, and we'll solve one by one. Like we'll substitute x equals to y and all. So using one, 5x square minus 6. Let, we can say put y equals to x. We will take the positive value. So it's 5x square minus 6x and y equals to x. X square. So 10x square so this is giving two answers, plus minus 1. That's all. Oh, it's too much. I'll solve again here. This space is getting consumed, every space. Okay, now what we'll do next? Using one, putting y equals to minus x. What we get? So we'll get so what are the possible coordinate? Possible coordinates are in the first case, what we got the answer x equals to plus minus 1 and y equals to x. So the possible coordinates are 1 1 or minus 1 minus 1 from the first case. From second case, what is the possible coordinate? 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2 1 by 2. They are opposite, right? If x I take 1 by 2, the y I must take minus 1 by 2. If I take x equals to minus 1 by 2, then 1 by 2. So we are getting 4 values. Okay. And we need to find the nearest one. So we need to check with all 4 values which one is the nearest. So I think all will give the same answer, right? So this graph must be some sort of symmetrical graph because we are getting 4 possibilities. What they're asking, whether the answer question is find the coordinate x and y values. Find the points on the curve that are nearest to origin. Okay, 25. Ah, that's nice. 25 because we will have answer. I haven't shared the answer.
No, sir.
Oh. Yes. .5. Okay, so the answer given is minus 1 by 2. This the other pair. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 and 1 by minus 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. And that is logical. Why? Because out of these 4, which one is given the nearest value? The S minimum value. If you choose the 1 and 1, what we get? Root 2. And this will give you 1 by root 2. So which one is minimum? The lowest value. So using this pair of equation, we get this answer. Using this pair, we get this answer. So we want minimum. So which one is going to give you the minimum of all? This pair of coordinate. So the answer is no. I can tell you this is a very challenging problem, even for those who are in class 12th. So if you have understood the answer, guys.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Rugved, you got the idea?
Yes.
Excellent. I mean, this is actually challenging. You can give to any senior, you can then see what happens. Okay, anyway, don't do all those things. Just, so I'll make a small, easier version of the same question that you can practice. And this is very useful. This concept is itself is very useful. And that concept you can use in coordinate geometry. when you will study coordinate geometry in class 12, you can make use of this idea and you can save your time. So calculus is a very fundamental and very interesting way. This is a curve in a shape like this, and this curve is called y equals to root x. This is the graph of y equals to root x. And there is a point c comma 0 on the x-axis. So there are many points you can join from here. Okay. And the question is, which of the following, I mean, what is the nearest distance of the point with the curve? So you can clearly see this is the minimum, correct? But the question is how to find this minimum. What we can do to get this minimum? Find S minimum.
So can we use the distance formula and
Yeah.
we can get a
Different-
quadratic of some
Yeah,
equation?
Correct. That is the way to go. Try for a while, then anyway, I'm there to help. See, again, I do not expect anyone to solve it. What I want is that everyone should just write something, get it. The process is important. Don't try to get or come to the answer directly. Just think of the process, like what I am supposed to do, how I'm supposed to move forward in the given direction. And physics will be anyway easy if you're good with maths. So don't worry about physics. 90% students they struggle in physics because of the poor maths, not because of the physics stuff. Physics is anyways. Okay, go ahead and try to attempt this question. Everyone, I want something to be written in your notebook. The first 6 months of JEE preparation should be devoted to more of maths and less of physics. If you focus more on physics, you will lose physics. That's simple. Because physics is anyway easy. If you know very good, if you're very good with vectors, if you solve a lot of questions in vectors, keep on drawing vectors, you have already mastered 90% physics. Those who can just draw vectors. If you know vectors and calculus, you can conquer the world. And then JEE will be like piece of cake. So for physics concept, I will take the guarantee. You just give me the assurance of maths. So questions are, how is your trigo going on? Are you practicing something?
Yes, sir.
Slowly. I mean, of course, there is no need to be in hurry. Take 1 month time, but try to learn on your own. It will be really powerful. It will make you powerful actually. So are you guys solving trigo from the maths book? Siddhant, Rigved,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Shreya?
Also from SL only.
Excellent. Come on. Please do it. I will be really proud of you. I'm really proud of all of you. See, we can create miracle. I mean, it's not like we need to be extraordinary student to, top the charts in IT. Be the way you are. Just put a little bit extra effort. You will become the topper of this examination. It's very easy. Anyone can become topper. The rules are simple. Put extra effort. You know what is the difference between the genius and ordinary student and genius student? What is the difference? Can you guess? Any guess? Anyone? Any guess? And you will be surprised to know the difference. Siddhant, what do you think? What is the difference?
Sir, genius people, they have a better IQ, so they can understand concepts easily,
Not easy, say quickly.
quickly.
Yeah, it means the only difference is 4 hours. You know, if on a day-to-day basis, if you put 4 hours extra than the genius, you will be much ahead in life eventually. Generally, genius don't put so much effort, so the brain allow them to learn faster. That's it. It doesn't mean that we are dumb. It's like we have to just put extra effort and we will be knowing as much as they know. And JEE is all about knowing. It's not about how genius you are. If you know certain things, if you can reciprocate in the examination, you are into that. So any ordinary student can go to IIT with very good rank. I would say extraordinary rank with extra, because the word extraordinary means you have to put extra effort. That's it. So ordinary people, when put extra effort, they become extraordinary. That's very nice meaning of extraordinary. So don't take yourself lighter. I mean, you have the whole potential to be the next champion. And don't compare today. Compare with yourself from yesterday to today, not with others. So every day of yours should be better than the previous day. That is called the competition. And generally, what happens in competition? We start comparing with others. That is the problem. So competition is necessary, but with ourselves, not with others. Okay, done. This question. The question was, let me put in words. Find. Okay, so you have to this question, but the actual question is, find the point on the curve y equals to root x. Nearest to the point C, 0. A, if C is more than equals to half, and B, if C is less than half. There are two questions. Maybe there are some mathematical meaning, but don't worry about them. Okay, so I'll give a hint. Not, I will not solve. Take any random point, call it x comma y. But because y is root x, so you can write as x comma root x. This is the first step. Use the distance formula. S equals to how much? X minus c whole square plus root x minus 0 whole square, isn't it? So s square is how much? X minus c whole square plus x. Is this clear so far?
Yes.
And
Yes.
the next step is simple. To minimize the given quantity, we have to differentiate the given quantity and equal to 0. That's it. Differentiate and equal to 0. This part you can do at least. I do not want my student to be ordinary student at the end of this course. And I want you to be so powerful that people should fear your knowledge. And that is quite possible. And all the learning through pain is worth the learning. And if something is not painful, it means it is also not worthy of learning. Force yourself to think. Force your brain. Think about it. Think about it. Imagine about it. Eventually, your brain will start developing. It will rewire itself. And I'm saying the truth. It's like scientifically. So when we start forcing our brain to think more, it starts rewiring, and suddenly you will realize that okay, you have become a genius. Your IQ will improve drastically. And trust me, I was the dumbest student in my class, only for 3 days. And fourth day I was extraordinary. Will tell you the magic. All the big stories, if you have heard, they were dumb at one time. Whether it's Einstein or Newton, read their history, and you will see the dumb moment in their life. So I don't believe in all this connotation of calling someone genius, prodigy, extraordinary. These all are lame words, having no significance at all. We all are extraordinary, or either we all are dumb. So you differentiated this part.
Yes, sir.
How much of it after differentiation?
So x is equal to c minus 1 by 2.
Very good. X equals to, I think plus minus, no? Or just x plus one. This is actually
Plus,
you can expand, no? Or fine. Just write like this. So what is anyway? So you can write as 2x minus c plus 1, right?
yes, sir.
So this equals to 0. This is easier. So x minus c equals to minus half. So x equals to, okay. So we got the x Okay. And now there are options given. Okay, we got X value. If this is X, then what should be the Y value? So if C is more than equals to 1 by 2, so C minus 1 by 2 is more than equals to 0, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And because this is more than equals to 0, the root of number is only possible when number is positive. Understood? So because our coordinate is what? Our coordinate is x comma root x. So our answer is what? X is what? Uh, C minus 1 by 2. So the other answer is C minus 1 by root 1 by 2. So and the only A is the option which can give you the right answer. If you take B, is it possible to get any answer? It is imaginary. What does it mean? C should not be less than 1 by 2, isn't it? Because this term cannot be negative. Root of negative is imaginary. And we want a real answer, actual answer. Understood what I'm saying? So the only A option will have the answer, and that is answer is this one. This is the answer. This is the answer. That's it. So the coordinate will be C minus 1 by 2, 4, C more than equals to half. And for B part, not possible. Because there is no graph on the left side. So if I choose any value here, let's say C minus, and C is less than 1 by 2, so this is negative number. So this is when C is less than 1 by 2. So from this point, I have no y coordinate, which is a part of graph. So any value of on this line cannot lie on the graph, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So now what else is possible is in this question. If we also have another equation called y equals to minus root x. But again, this is root x is not possible. X must be positive. So this is simply not possible. Okay, so your answer is simple. Your answer is C minus 1 by 2 is the answer, and under root of C minus 1 by 2. So we'll just solve some interesting factual questions, like very famous, known by the world, and we'll see the. Already I have given some question here. This is the this question 3. This question is question number 23 actually. So I'll just put the actual number for your reference. Question number 23. Now, this is the question that you will solve. So you spend some time and then I'll give you the idea. Just play with the question. I mean, no need to get any answer. No answer is required. Just play with the idea. Do something, get something, try to interpret what is the meaning of this. Keep on playing till it makes some sense to your mind. Read the question. So on your notebook, just write the function at least. And instead of fx, you can write y.
So inflection is where the point, where the slope is
Yeah.
0.
Yeah, no, where the second derivative is 0.
Achha.
d2y by dx square is 0 at point of inflection. d2y by dx square is positive at minima. d2y by dx square is more than 0 at, sorry, the second derivative is positive, it means it is minima. Second is negative, it is maximum. And second derivative is 0 is point of inflection. It is neither maxima nor minima. So basically the sense of point of inflection is it is the place where the curvature changes. And you can think like this. Take a ring made of a wire. Cut at to any one point the wire. And then twist the wire like this. I'll just show you what I mean to say. Take a ring, cut anywhere, you cut here. Now this is open to turn, so this portion, and then turn the below portion above. So this point is neither concave nor convex, and this point is called point of inflection. So basically, point of inflection is a point at which the curvature will make the property different. So from concave, it will try to become convex after that point, or vice versa. So when a concave becomes convex at a point, so it's like beyond a point it is concave, and beyond before it is convex. So that point is called the point of inflection. The curve turning, or the shape changing curve. So if I draw something like this, let me show you some more point of inflection. So, and the rule is it should be flat also. Let's say if I draw something like this, and this is a very famous graph in maths, and this graph is called y equals to q of x. So what happens? It goes like this. It becomes almost flat here, almost flat, which you don't see, and then it will change the shape. So first of all, if you draw a tangent, I mean, it's difficult to believe that it is tangent, but this line is, the blue line is, the x-axis is called tangent to the curve, and no one believes this. This is tangent. So it is not intersecting. It is a flat patch here. There is a small flat patch, a the tiniest small patch you can imagine mentally. And beyond this, you can see the curvature is, it's concave up, and below this it is concave down, isn't it? Do you realize this? The curvature is
Yes, sir.
altering across, you can say beyond that point. So on the two sides of that point, we have two different shape. So this is called concave up, and this is called concave down. And this point is called point of inflection. So this has troubled mathematicians for a very long time. That x-axis is tangent to the curve. And visually, if you look at this, it is like it is intersecting the curve. So how a intersecting line can be a tangent? So it has perplexed the mathematician for a long time. And so for every student, this is something that difficult to digest, counterintuitive, you can say. But there's a small flat patch, and when we have a straight line, every line is tangent to itself. So this line is also tangent to this line. So for that small flat patch, the x-axis is parallel. So it is called tangent. Understood? Do you realize what I'm saying? I mean, I'll just show you something. Solve, you can solve. Look at this. Can you see the graph?
Yes, sir.
This is the graph of y equals to x cube. This is, see the function is written here. Fx equals to x cube. Okay. And this is the graph. And what you can realize that this line x-axis is actually tangent to the curve. Now you can realize this. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let me zoom it, zoom. You can see it. It is not a curve. It is not the x-axis is not cutting because x-axis is becoming parallel to the curve, isn't it? So is x-axis cutting the graph at x equals to 0? The answer is no.
No.
So it is like if I take the mirror image of the right hand side, just a moment. If I take the mirror image of the right part, if I take this part below, and you can see that this is the point of inflection. Which means if I just turn it, like if I twist like this point, this x-axis becomes exactly tangent. This looks like a tangent. So this is the same example which I gave you, the take a ring, cut it, and then twist it. Same thing is here. If I choose this shape and if I cut it, I mean, if I simply twist it, not cut it, there's no need to cut here. If I twist the one part above, it will look like a, okay, it appears that x-axis is cutting the graph, but it is not cutting the graph, and this is called the, okay, point of inflection. So when I say point of inflection, what does it mean? Beyond the point, the curvature will reverse. So for this case, on the right of the point of inflection, the curvature is concave up. Do you realize this? And on the left, what we have?
Yes.
Concave down. So mathematically, what is the concave up? When the second derivative is positive, it is called concave up. When the second derivative is negative, it is called concave down. So there is a term called convexity, convexity or concavity. So convex and concave are like just nomenclature. You can change one to the other. Okay, so we have term. So this is called concave up. So we can either express concave. So this is like a every concave up is convex down, and vice versa. So we can generally we use concavity, but you can either use concavity to use in literature to say the same thing, or you can use convexity in the reverse fashion. So okay, that is interesting. So the point of inflection is a point at which the second derivative exactly becomes. Why? Because for a flat surface, the slope will remain almost same even if you move slightly right, slightly left. I hope this is clear. And
Yes.
at home, you must do some practice, like say what. So what you must practice? Always plot all the graph and see the shape and keep it in the brain. Let's say this is the graph. Which graph? Y equals to x. The blue line, correct? And if I write x equals to -1, if I put -1, what will happen? Can you guess? If I put -1, the origin will shift towards 1. So you can see that the center of the blue line will come at 1. You can see. Can you see? Okay. If I put
Yes, sir.
-2, if I put -2, it will shift to 2. See? And if I put -1, see, it will shift to -1. So when you write a graph and if you make some change to x, the graph will shift. The shape remains constant. The graph will shift. If you want to shift the graph of x cube, you can shift. Let me show you how. So let's say that you want to shift the graph to 1. What I'll write here? Minus how much? To shift by 1? 1.
-1.
No. Yeah, -1. So if once I put 1, you can see graph will shift at 1. Look at the graph carefully. See where I have
Yes,
shifted
sir.
the origin. So mathematics is very nice. I mean, you just need to understand how maths behave when we write something and when we know something. So we know the graph of x cube. So it's not a rocket science to know the graph of x minus 1 whole cube. It is the same graph shifted towards right by 1. See, the shape is same. There is no change of shape. So this is called translation of graph. We translate the graph right to left. To shift left, we have to add or subtract. To shift left,
We have to
add. Because addition is like subtracting negative value, right? So if I make a plus sign, what do you expect? The graph will shift where?
Shift left.
Left. At what position? -1. Okay. See the magic. So this is a very nice, website called GeoGebra, and I think we have discussed GeoGebra a long time back. So you can go to the GeoGebra, write the equation. It's very easy to write. To write the power, use the caret symbol. You know, the arrow, the cap symbol, which is above the 6. Like on the keyboard, it is above the 6. Use the shift command to get this, and you can write any equation. And you can play with the graph and realize some property or pattern actually. Okay. Now I'll show you just very interesting thing. Very nice. So this is called translation on X. How to move up and down? So to move up and down, you have to add something beyond the graph. So x cube is separate, and then if I add something here, what do you expect? It will go up or down. So if I add 1, the point of inflection will shift upward with 1. Let me show you. Well, I'll show you with 0.5 because it's a less space. Once I hit enter, what do you expect? The point of inflection will go up. See, this is very interesting. So we'll talk about the translation and shifting of graph in at the end of this. This mathematical tools. So when we finish the maths, we will be able to understand a lot of mathematics in detail. And any time that we spend on maths is only going to help us. So there is no need to hurry and try to command kinematics. Kinematics is all about maths. So if you are not good with maths, any kinematics is going to be difficult. I hope everything is clear.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? All right. So coming back to the question, okay, I gave this question. Have you written this question on the paper, everyone? So you are supposed to solve with me. I mean, keep on solving with me. Whenever I'm teaching numerical, make sure that you all are writing with me. Don't see the picture going on. Okay. Take pen, take paper, and write along with your teacher. Whenever a teacher is solving maths, so always keep a separate notebook just to solve questions. So the benefit is you can make shorter notes while watching the video itself. How? You will not write the numericals because you are going to write the numericals in a separate notebook, and you will write the theory in your actual notebook, and then at the end of the course or the chapter, you will have very less number of pages to revise, which is the theoretical, theory part. And all the numericals will dump in a separate notebooks that will save your thickness. So that is easy for revision. So no need to write all numerical in your notebook. That is not going to help in terms of revision. So make a 2 notebook, one only meant for solving numerical, and other you just copy the keywords, key points while watching the lecture. In that way, you can make your notes, and you can understand, okay, what is important to be remembered, what is just like a junk you can skip. So you can do in a run time. Like when I'm teaching, you can make your notes at the same time. These are some good habits. That's it. Okay. So determine the constants A and B. So A and B is not given to us. A relative maximum at x equals to -1. So first of all, whether it is a relative maximum or a minimum, the rule is simple. What is the rule? Okay. First of all, tell me how many variables we have here. A, B, C. Basically, we have three constants A, B, C, and they're not asking C, B. You know why? Because if you differentiate, C will always vanish because that's constant. So what you know two conditions. You know that you have a relative maximum at x equals to -1, and you have a relative minimum at x equals to 3, and you also have the relative minimum at x equals to 4. So -1, 3, 4 are the points at which the first derivative must be. What is -1, 3, and 4 representing here? Tell me. These are the critical points, the points above which you will find the peaks or valleys. Understood?
Yes.
So the first step of learning is that do you decode the meaning of the values given. X equals to -1, x equals to 3, x equals to 4. These are the 3 points at which either we have maxima or we have minima. Can we say these are the points called critical points in the solution of the maxima and minima, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So the first step is simple. Can we just simply differentiate the function and equate to 0 if x is -1, equate to 0 if x is 3, and equate to 0 if x is 4. So we'll get 3 equations. Let's differentiate. So question number 23, and that is on the page number 6. So I'll put the question number 23, solution, and do along with me and mention here solution on page 6. Tell me what is the question given? Fx equals to what is given? X cube plus ax square plus
Bx plus.
this is the question, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can say y equals to x cube plus ax square. What is given? Critical points given. And what are the critical points? -1, 3, 4. And what are the meaning of these points? That is at critical point or points, the first derivative must vanish. Yes or no? Tell me, guys. Yes or no? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So can we say that the first derivative will vanish at these locations? Can we say? Can we say? Can we
Yes,
say?
sir.
Okay. So let's differentiate the function. What is dy by dx first of all? What is dy by dx? Tell me.
3x square plus 2x plus b.
3x square plus 2ax plus
2x plus
b.
b.
Very good. But we don't know whether it will 0 or not as of now. But we know that if x is -1, then it must be 0. So at x equals to -1, what we are going to get? Dy by dx which implies first I need to substitute the value x equals to -1. So what will get? 3 minus 1 whole square plus 2a minus 1 plus b equals to 0. So what we are going to get here? 3 plus 3 minus 2a plus b equals to 0. So 2a minus b equals to 3 is the first equation. Okay. What else is given? At 3, it should also vanish, isn't it?
Yes.
So if I put 3, what will get? 3 into 3 whole square plus 2a plus b equals to 0. So 9, 3, 27 plus. And we can clearly see that 6a plus b is minus 27. And actually, we do not need other values because we just have two variables. So two equations are satisfied. Okay. The third condition will give you the similar equation or the equation which we can recreate using the first two equations. So we do not need any further equation. Okay. Okay. So can we solve these two questions, 1 and 2? Hopefully, yes, we can solve.
Equals -3.
So 8 equals to minus 24. So 8a equals to minus 24. A equals to minus 3, right? This is what you're saying.
Yes.
Very good. It's right answer. And once you got A, you can find B also. So minus 6 minus B equals to 3. So B is minus 9, right? So we got B equals to minus 9. So let's verify the answer. So we got the answer anyway, minus 3 and minus 9. You can just check the answer. If this is odd number, so this answer should be available. Yeah. There are two questions. Okay, okay. These are actually two questions. I mean, two separate. This is the right answer. Okay, so I think I missed the point. And okay, this is the separate question. So up to here, there is one question, and then again solve for these two. So we got the answer for the A part by using -1 and 3. Can you do it for the B part? So for B part, what they are saying? For B part, they are saying that at 4, so 4 I have to eliminate. So that is for B part. So that's why I thought, okay, why they have done so many questions. This is the A part. In the B part, what they are given? At x equals to 4, we have what we have?
Minimum.
Minimum. And what we have also? Point of inflection. Can you solve now? So we have point of inflection at x equals to -1. So again, we will get two equation. So at 4, the first day, okay, no, you will solve. I'll solve, guys, and tell me the answer. Everyone. If you have really understood, you can solve.
X equal to -1 or x equal to 1?
X equals to -1. The point of inflection is this location. This is given to us.
So we have to use the same equation as before.
Yeah, of course. The equation will remain the same. But you need to understand okay, what we are doing here. So when I put x equals to 4, the first derivative must vanish, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So do it. But that will give you only one equation. To get the other equation, you have to use the point of inflection, which needs the second derivative, which you can do it easily. Okay, go ahead and tell me the answer.
So in that PDF, it is given x is 1. Point of.
Oh, sorry, my bad. It's 1 actually. Actually, there are so many questions, so I just saw from the far away, and it was appearing 1.
So I'm getting A as -3 and B as -24.
You're getting A as
-3 and B as -24.
-22.
4 -24.
I think this is correct one. Just confirm. Just show you. Excellent. That's the right answer. Very good.
So for the inflection point, we have to find the second derivative. No?
Yeah, and equal to 0.
Yes, sir.
That itself will give you a value. If you double differentiate, what is the second derivative? d2y by d square. How much is that? Tell me. The first is in front of you. Can you differentiate once more? And tell me what should I write here?
6x plus 2a.
Wow, that's correct. And now, when this will be 0, when x will be 1, right?
Yes, sir.
So you got that. Yeah. So what I'll
A
add
is
here?
-3. Yes.
That's the right answer. And then once you get this, I think you can go to the other equation which you got. Put a -3, you will get b, right?
Yes, I got it. B is -24.
Very good. Great, guys. So you're doing really good with maths. I mean, I'm really happy. This gives me motivation to do more questions. If you don't mind, can we do more questions? Okay, we will do anyway more questions. Okay, you have to do this. Now, this is a real life, very nice real life problem from economics. Okay, so this is something like every economist need to know a basic of calculus also. In fact, the advanced economics is all about calculus. And that is why the JEE IIT Kanpur introduced economics as a subject for JEE aspirant. Of course, they don't teach much of theory. They teach the mathematical economics, and that requires again advanced calculus, calculus in that's called multivariable calculus. There is a complete set of theory called optimization theory, which requires linear algebra. So those who opt economics in IIT, they study the much advanced mathematical version of economics. So it's not economics the way you understand. And this is a, like, a glimpse into the world, that how the idea of calculus can be used to solve a real life situation. So that is how the different market players, they decide the price of their product. So they do some survey. Okay, if I see Parle-G never changed the price since its inception. What they are doing? They change the size. So the Parle-G 20 years back was really large in size. Now it's very small because they play with us human psychology. So price is same. They decrease the weight of the packet. So every year, if you go to the D-Mart and if you see the same product, you will see the difference in the weight. So you can make a note of the weight of the first year and then just put in a paper and just check next year. You'll see the weight has decreased, and they will try to keep the price constant. So generally, they do with the biscuits or chocolates, because in case of biscuits and chocolates, this idea is too much prevalent. Customer will leave eating if you raise the price by too much. Okay, that's full market. Even that uses the calculus. Read the question, think about it, do something. Hopefully, you'll get the answer. This is question number manufacturer. This was question number. The last question was question 14. So can you guys try this question? If you know basic of market. So the cost will be, okay. This is challenging actually. What is profit? Sale price minus cost price. I hope you remember. Class 9th, maths, commerce. So what is profit? I hope everyone knows. SP minus CP, right? So you want to maximize the profit. So first you have to derive the formula for profit. So call it P. So create a function for profit and then try to write the P equals to what? Okay, shall I interrupt now? If it cost a manufacturer C rupees to manufacture and distribute a certain item. So what is the CP of per item? And what is the selling price?
X.
And what is the number of items sold? N. So tell me, what is the profit? If I sell everything, how much profit I'll gain? N into X minus C, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And we're done because N is given. And you have to just multiply. Okay, yeah. So we have to call up function P. So P is how much? If you multiply, you'll get A plus which is pretty easy. The function, this is an easy function to solve. So what is the maximum profit condition? For P max, dP by dx. So to maximize the profit, we must differentiate and equal to 0, and I think we can differentiate. Better is you can multiply this entire thing. 100x minus and I hope you can differentiate this also. So what will get if you differentiate? B into 100 minus 2x plus C. And now if you equate to 0, you will get the answer. How much? So you get 100 plus C by 2. So selling price is how much? 100 plus C by 2 is the answer. So what selling price will bring the maximum profit? The answer is 100 plus C by 2. That is the answer. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So now this will revise your class 9th maths, loss and profit. Which class you studied? Loss and profit? 9th or before? 7th, sorry. 6 or 7 we start learning profit loss. And now with the help of calculus, we have something really wonderful thing. Can you solve the right one? 14th. This you all understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Solve the 14th. So you guys are only answering now. Please solve also. So anyone who came very close to the answer, like you got the P formula. So did you get the P formula?
Yes, sir. I got it. Then I was in the process of finding the derivative.
Oh, great. Very good.
Sir, I also got it, but I did the long method.
Long method.
Like I didn't calculate profit by n into x minus c. I actually opened the entire thing.
Ah, then this must
It
have
was
been got.
n x and then n into c, and then I
Oh, it's
subtracted.
like a tedious job you made for yourself. But anyway, you know the process is important. And I'm really happy. If you're getting the process correct, it's really good. The rest is something which happens with time. We all improve with time. We become master of the same. Okay, now 14, I want you all to solve, please. Now this time I'm not interested. I want you to solve. Anyone.
getting the answer as 5.
Okay. So 2x plus y, you are getting 5, right?
Yes.
Let me check. So let's call this as z. And what we want to maximize is z only, right? So we want to maximize.
Yes, sir. Even I got 5.
Very good. So we want to maximize z. So what is the rule of maximization? The first derivative test says dz by dx must be equal to 0. And if I differentiate z with x, what we get? 2 plus dy by dx. Which means if this is 0, we must get dy by dx equals to -2, right? So to maximize z, the first derivative of y with x is -2. And what is given? X and y are the length of the sides of right triangle. Whose so it is given to us that x square plus y square equals to 5 square. Correct? And this is like a constraint. Under this constraint, we have to maximize this. That's the rule, no?
So
What we are supposed to-
shouldn't x square plus y square be equal to root of 5?
Yeah, root of 5. I didn't see this. Yeah. So now x square plus y square equals to 5 only, right? And can we differentiate this as well? And we know that dy by dx we are supposed to get as -2, right? The easier way. So here only, also here. So x plus y into -2 equals to 0. So that is what we have derived. So x equals to 2y. We are done because we can use this question again. Our constraint to get the answer. So we got x equals to 2y, which means 4y square plus y square equals to 5. We got okay. What they asking? Okay, we got y equals to 1, x equals to 2. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. So your answer is correct. And since you got the answer, so you must have understood, I believe. Rugved, you got the idea?
Yes.
So how close you were to the answer?
I got the differentiation of -2. I also got x square plus y square. I did differentiation, but then I didn't know what to do next. So
Next. So now the idea is that's very good. So you were at the right point actually. The idea was how to use dy by dx. That was the idea because that if some information is available to us, we must use it. So this is what we did because this is known to us. We differentiated this equation to get the dy by dx so that we can substitute and get another question. So that is what we did actually, right?
yes.
So sometimes it is not obvious, but you are on the right path and you were very close and you got the right answer. Every congratulations. Now we'll do something really important. And such questions are again part of maths and physics both. So next question is okay. I'm while I'm writing it, you can start solving. Question number 27. I hope you can read the question. I'm writing for the sake of record. You just read it. So this brings the idea of geometry. So you can think for a while. If you are able to proceed, then it's very good. Tell me that I'm proceeding, sir. I'm going to the next step. If in the next 2 minutes, if you're getting no idea, just let me know. I'll solve. So just first 2 minutes take to understand. At least draw the diagram, something which you can understand. So you will learn the geometrical part. This is again, it's a very nice activity to get acquainted with the geometry, how to deal with geometry in physics. Okay. So got some idea, got some diagram?
Yes, sir. So first we have to find a relation between the radius of sphere and the
And height. The radius and the height of the cone.
yes.
Or you can say you have to express the dimension of the cone in terms of the radius of the sphere. And the variable here we have to use is theta basically. So first of all, let me draw a sphere. In such question, we always think two-dimensionally and we try to convert it into three-dimensional. So largest cones mean what? Like the vertex of the cone must be touching the sphere, right? So if I take the biggest possible base, the problem is my height will be lesser, isn't it? Which may affect the volume. And if I choose the maximum height, then the base will become shorter. The idea is we have no clue that what kind of base and the height will tend to give the maximum. That is the question. So this is the diagram that we can imagine or think. And the center of the sphere is somewhere here. From the geometry, we know that center to any vertex will be so center to any vertex. What is the value? R, right? So we know that if I choose a angle, a proper angle, we will be able to express the entire thing. So if I take the angle this as theta, this will be also theta. So what is the volume of a cone? 1 by 3 pi, the radius of the base, which I don't know, let's call it x, and the height, let's call h. But the problem is here x and h are unknown. So can we express x and h in terms of r? Tell me, guys. So what is x in terms of r and theta we can express? Anybody? Think of a triangle, think of an angle and a radius. So for this theta, what is the relation? Which trigonometric ratio will connect r and x with this theta? Can you think about it?
So sine theta.
Xn. So sine theta is how much? X upon r. X will be how much? So I can add r sine theta whole square. What about h? So h is the vertical length, which is r plus something, right? Something I don't know. Let's call it y. And if you look carefully, can I write h as r plus y? Can I write yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And y we can again express in terms of theta. So we can write y equals to r cos theta if you look carefully. And by doing so, we eventually convert into a single variable function, which is r, which is theta. Theta is the only variable, everything is constant. So what we get is r square, which is r cube, sine square theta into 1 plus cos theta. So finally, the volume turns out to be 1 by 3 pi r cube, which is an entirely constant number. And then we have sine square theta plus cos theta into sine square theta. We can write this in a nice way. or okay, we could have left that way only. Now, because theta is the only variable, then how to maximize the volume? This is the thing. To maximize the volume, what we must do? So, which variable is the determining the volume? Which variable? Tell me, guys. The volume depends on which variable? What is the variable here? What is the variable here? Am audible?
Yes, sir.
So what is the
So
variable?
theta.
Theta. So to maximize V, what must be 0? The first derivative of volume with respect to the variable theta, and this must be 0. And you can choose this term because anyway the rest is are constant. Don't worry about this. Can you differentiate this function with respect to theta? You can use whatever rule you want, but tell me the answer. Do it fast, then I will leave you because some of you will have next lecture.
So or is it 2 sine theta cos theta into 1 minus sine theta?
Yeah. So this is 2 sine theta into cos theta. That's the first part. Because we have to write the into 1 plus cos theta. Right? The first part plus sine square theta into minus sine theta, right?
Yes.
Very good. So the term is 2 sine theta cos theta plus 2 sine theta cos square theta minus sine cube theta. So 2 sine theta cos theta plus, I can take sine theta common. So what I'll get? 2 cos square theta minus sine square theta. And this should be 0. So I can take something common, sine theta common. I get 2 cos theta plus, this I can write as 2 cos theta, and sine we can again write as 1 minus cos square, which will come like this. And then we have to make it 0, right? Now, if I make this as 0, then either this should be 0 or this should be 0. And which one we are going to take? The right or the left one?
The right one.
Right one.
Very good. Because right, left one is of no use. Theta 0 will give nothing. Therefore, now we are going to see something interesting. It's a quadratic in cos, isn't it? And we know how to solve quadratic. So cos theta will be how much? You can write as 3 cos theta. You can, this is easy. 3 cos theta minus cos theta. So I can take 3 cos theta common. With cos theta plus 1 minus cos theta plus 1. So what we get is 3 cos theta minus 1 into cos theta plus 1. Wow. And this we can solve, right? So there will be two answers. Cos theta will be either 1 by 3 or minus 1. Again, which one we have to reject? Which one we are going to reject?
One.
Then negative value, right? Minus 1, isn't it?
Yes.
This is the answer. We got the cos theta for which it will be maximum. And now what we are going to do is, because we know the cos theta, we are going to substitute. So the maximum volume is how much? 1 by 3 pi r cube. Sin square is 1 minus cos square, which is 1 minus 1 by 9, which is 8 by 9. And 1 plus cos theta 4 by 3. So 2 upon 1 pi r cube is the maximum volume.
So why did we reject -1?
Because cos theta is minus 1, even theta is pi. And if theta is pi, so this point will come back to the vertex, which is physically not possible. No? So you have to also think logically that what is the interpretation of the value. Okay. So you want to maximize something, and negative will make it a 0 volume. Can you see? If I put here -1, what will get? 0 volume? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And do you want 0 volume? No. You want to maximize it. See, either you have to see, the idea is you have to substitute every value and check the answer, and you will get to only maximum for this answer. And cos theta is 1 maximum. But you can eliminate the answer by looking at the. Okay. If I take sin theta equals to 0, then again the volume becomes 0, isn't it? If I make this as 0, then this entire volume becomes 0 because 0 into something is 0. Understood? So we can neither take sin theta 0, which is going to give us 0 volume, nor we are going to get, sorry. Nor we are going to get the the -1 answer. So this is how we solve the geometrical problem, and the practice of solving geometrical problem gives you a very powerful intuition in physics and maths, how to deal with geometry, how to convert one thing into other. And for the first timer, these things are difficult. So don't worry if you find it difficult. Okay. The other way of solving is also there. You can also use x and y as a variable. Use Pythagoras. Write your answer in terms of x only. Differentiate and equal to 0. You will get the answer. Okay. So there are two ways of solving. I chose theta, but many students don't find trigonometric equations comfortable with. So they choose the x, y, the Cartesian. In the Cartesian system, I'll give you a hint. The x is x and the y becomes how much? Using Pythagoras, x square plus y square is r square. So y itself is under root of. So the volume will be how much? 1 by 3 pi x square h, which is r plus y. And because the y we know, it's the single variable function of x, and if you want to maximize it, you know how to differentiate everything. Although it will be cumbersome, nevertheless it's not going to be easy, but you can solve like that. Okay. So what I'll suggest you that from 27 onwards, so first you solve up to 27 only, because you need some practice. And don't worry about the feet and all. You just solve and keep the answer in numbers. The unit you can ignore. So as of now, you try up to 34. I'm giving the homework. Many questions we have solved. So you'll find, okay, lots of questions are already solved. So your homework is up to solve up to 34. So by the next lecture, because the next lecture is on Wednesday and you have sufficient time, it's almost how many days? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days. On 5th day, you are supposed to give the answer. So out of 34, we have solved many, almost 7 or 8. And the rest will be 20. So you can solve. And to solve in a proper notebook. And once you are done on Tuesday, you always send me the PDF on my WhatsApp. Don't send in a group, because if you send, someone else will see it. So better send on my group, my number. I'll check everyone's response by Tuesday. Those who fail to submit on Tuesday, the punishment for Wednesday, let me declare beforehand. You solve in the lecture till it gets over. Even it takes the whole night. My Zoom lecture, the video call will be available till 3 a.m. So that is a home. That is a punishment. Either solve at home or solve in the lecture. I will never let you go away without solving this. So I really want the maths part should be very, very strong for everyone. If you're not good with maths, anyway, you will not be good with physics at all. I cannot take risk. All right, guys. So that's your homework. Apply brain, do something, and make use of differentiation. Bye and take care.
Bye, so thank you.